Good morning. Come on in. Are you there? Anybody there yet? Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to New Mexico. I've let my hair down today. Getting in the zone. Come on in. Good morning. I'm sure you're all there. Can you hear me okay? Is my peg still working? Come on, I know you're there. I'm really looking forward to today. Today we're doing the other part of the Dreamcatcher. Can anybody hear me? I'm looking, I'm waiting. Ah, it doesn't look like there's anyone there. Yay! There we are. God, you know, it always takes ages before I see it. I can't actually read it. I can just see some life in the screen. Good morning. Come on in. Got your tea? Got your coffee? I've got mine. How are you this morning? Come on in. It's a glorious sunny day here in Crowborough. Where are you today? Where are you today? We're going to pretend we're in New Mexico today. We're in just south of Albuquerque in the mountains. Come on in, come on in. Stuart's with us this morning. My friend Stuart. He's in the room with you, not in the room with me, but he can answer any of your questions. Stuart's great. So he's there. Come on in, come on in. Greetings from East Sussex. How is everybody today? How is everybody today? Are you coping with this? I'm making the best of a bad situation. And so I think that's what we have to do, isn't it? And so every morning at 10 o'clock we get together, we hang out, we doodle, we have a banter. Let's have a look. 3 minutes to 10. Give everyone a chance to get in, grab a seat. Got your pens, got your pencils. We don't need lots, do we? We certainly, we didn't do that much yesterday, and yet we did loads, didn't we? It felt to me. I really enjoyed yesterday. And I think the whole thing about it is that we don't rush. The whole idea of this is to chill, you know, which is why I thought it would be great to go to New Mexico. It is the land of enchantment. It's like no other state in the States. It's like no other state in the States. It is just beautiful. Like I said yesterday, you get off the plane and you're not at an airport in Albuquerque, you're at the Sunport. And the artwork in the airport is just spectacular. It's just beautiful everywhere you look. It's very, very Native American Indian, everything. And this is why I put my turquoise jewelry on today. Because everywhere, when you're in New Mexico, turquoise is everywhere. Everything is painted turquoise. Everybody wears turquoise jewelry. It's spectacular, and I love turquoise. I love the colour. I love the stone, and I love the Native American jewelry as well. I think it's lovely. Come on in, good morning. So I thought, right, well, when I'm in New Mexico, because I go there every year, because as I said, we've got a house there. Don't think we're going to get there this year, though. But as soon as I get there, I turn into a total hippie. Because it's just, that's the way it is. This is the way everybody hangs out, and it's tie-dye, and it's jewelry, and it's slow, everything is much more manana, and it's just a beautiful place. If anybody's been there, they'll know exactly what I mean, and you'll understand why my dream has always been to retire there. It's a fantastic place. Right, 9:59, come on in. And just this morning, just letting my hair down, because I've always, you never see me with my hair down, never let my hair down, always keep it up, keep it out my face. And today I thought, you know, no, what would I do if I was in New Mexico? I'd have all this on, you know. And the other thing is, since the lockdown, I don't know about you, but since the lockdown, when it first happened, and we were all like, way, right, rabbits in the headlights. We were washing our hands, weren't we, for 20 seconds every 20 seconds. What's happened to that little mantra? 20 seconds every 20 seconds, wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands. All of a sudden, we don't need to do that anymore. But I was washing my hands so vigorously and so regularly that the soap was getting in under my rings. I don't know if that happened to you. So I took all my rings off as well, because it was starting to get really like a rash. Great, isn't it? And so today I thought, do you know what? I'm going to put my rings back on. My wedding ring, for example. So, and then when I put my wedding ring on, I thought, hang on, I'll get my jewellery out. I'll get my lovely necklace out that Dave bought me in Taos. When am I going to wear it otherwise? Unless when we're pretending to go to New Mexico. Come on in, good morning. Smile. Let's have a good hour, shall we? Let's have a good hour. Right, I reckon we're ready to rock and roll. Yes, it's 10 o'clock. Good morning. Welcome to the SHAC. Safe, happy and creative. Stay home and craft. And we're going to have a good time today. Yesterday was real low key. We started drawing a Dreamcatcher. And Lucy, very kindly, she drew a 9cm ring because several of you were struggling with the, see here, several of you wanted just the shape, not the whole pattern. That would be, what's the point really? You know, I think we can at least try to do this, can't we? Can't we? Yeah, come on, let's try to do this. Because there's not going to be much else than this. We're not going to colour it in, really. There's nothing to colour in. Like with the geisha, there was a lot of doodling going on within the geisha, so I gave you the line art. But with this is the job. This is the end of it, really. So so I think let's have a go at it, right? But so Lucy, she made a set of concentric circles for you, so that you've at least got the outline, the inner ring, and you can add your patterns then. So I'm sure that Stuart, who's in the room with you, he'll be able to give you the link if you need it. And it'd be great if you want to do different dream catchers with different patterns. It'd be really useful to have the pattern. I'll tell you what, I want to show you a really. This is really fun before we start. Something for you to try. Something for the... Have I lost a tooth? No. God, that would just be the end of it, wouldn't it? I'd turn into a proper hippie. No, I haven't lost a tooth. It just felt like it. If something falls out of my mouth in a minute. No, I haven't lost a tooth. Now, where was I? That's thrown me completely. That's still in there. Wouldn't that be just the icing on the cake? She lets her hair down and her teeth fall out. Okay, serious moment. Where was I? I've lost my tooth. Can you imagine being on a live chat room and suddenly you think your tooth has fallen out? Right. Now, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, a really good trick. So yesterday, I am falling apart. I lost this fingernail, right? I was cleaning some groovy plates and I was picking off and anyway, it came off. And so I was, you know, that's a bummer. And then I thought, I could show you a trick because I had a fingernail. I was trying something out the other day doing concentric circles, but it wouldn't work because I had a fingernail. Now I can show you something really fun for you, for the grandchildren. We just want to show you something. Whether it works or not, I don't know, but I'll give it a go. Right, you ready? Let's just have a look. So, for example, let's just park this for a minute and let me show you a little trick. Okay, so if I take a piece of copy paper, let's pretend we haven't got anything to draw around, right? We haven't got any 5p pieces. We can't do it with that. We can't do it with that. And so all we've got is a piece of paper and an HB pencil. And I take my finger without the fingernail. Look, lovely, right? Good morning, come on in. You're just about to hit the best bit. And what I'm going to do is put my finger, that's the centre now, where I'm putting my finger. And then I'm going to use, it's like a splint. See? Let's use this camera, see if you can see it better. Yeah. So you can see my nailless finger and you can see that I've got the pencil leaning on the thing, right? So I'm using the finger as a sort of a splint. And then what I'm going to do, and it's all in the mind. Let me tell you, it's all in the mind. I've got to think head to finger, not head to pencil. The pencil isn't effective. It's the finger. I've got to think pressure so that the finger doesn't wander, because the finger's the anchor, not the finger. Yeah, the finger. I've got to think finger. Right, so watch. So let's see if this works. If it doesn't work, at least I could give it a go. Right, so what you do is you start rotating, right? Just rotate and keep thinking about the finger. so the finger doesn't move when you rotate. Look, check that out. Right, so circle, right? Should we give it another go? Right, so finger, down, splint, pencil, like that, hold it, think finger, and then start rotating. Right, round we go. Don't matter which way you go, whichever is comfortable. Think finger, pressure, pressure finger. Oh, see, that one went a bit wrong because I didn't think finger long enough. Right, think finger, stop worrying about. Right, ready? Finger, down, think finger, and then go round. Let's go round that way. Maybe it work better that way. Right, knocking everything out of the way. Good enough. Right, I've got my circle. Right, now, the first one was the best one. Now this time, I want to make a ring a bit further, a larger one. So let's say that that one's the one in the middle. Are we happy with that? So now I'm going to decide how far out do I want to go. I'm going to use either my pinky in the middle or that one, depending on how far out I want to go. I'm going to put my pinky in here. You could try this now or you could try it later. Again, right, rigid. Let's have a look at this camera so you can see what I'm up to. So I'm using my fingers like a splint, but the one I'm leaning on is that one. It's the little pinky in the center there, right? So pinky in the middle, and then all the others are just holding the pen out. But what I'm thinking about is the pinky. You've got to think about the one that's holding the anchor. Right, let's go around. No, hang on a minute. My fingers are all clammy because when I was doing it on my own with no audience, it was a piece of cake. Right, ready? Right, so now we'll go round, think pinky grey, think pink, think pink, think pink, keep coming round, go like that. I'm not thinking pink enough, see? You hold it like that. Oh, it worked so well before you all turned up. Right, let's go one more time, like that. That's the centre there, like that. Hold it like that, right? It's because my hands have suddenly gone all sweaty. Right, here we go, round we go. Hold the pinky in the centre, like that. And then as we go round, I reckon we should join up. Boom! Check that out. I'm not going to do it twice. There you go. There is a perfect circle. And all I used was my hand, pinky in the centre, and then an anchor. And round we go. Isn't that fun? There you go. So afterwards, when we all go in our separate ways, just grab a bit of paper, grab a pencil, and then just see how many different size circles you can make. Yeah, I thought that was quite clever anyway. Bit of practice, but it's good, isn't it? Isn't it weird how I was fine, right? Because I practiced a little bit before you all turned out. And it was fine. And then because I know you're all watching, suddenly my hands go all clammy and my nose starts running. And then I thought my tooth was falling out and that was the end of the game as we know it. Right, we're ready to carry on. Come on, or we're not going to get this Dreamcatcher done, are we? Stop waffling, Gray. Right, this is where we're at now. Everybody happy? Come on in, enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. So where we're headed is here. This is where we were. Oh, hang on. Yeah, this is where we were. And what we're going to do now is we're going to add the next thing we want to do is before we add the rings around the outside, we're going to add the petals. So let's do the petals next. Are we all up to the same place? I'm going to use, here's my pens again. Let's have a look. Chill. See, this is lovely because we've done the pencil work on this. We can chill on this. I thought we'll do the feathers. What do you want to do? Do you want to do the feathers first or do you want to do the pen work? Let's do this bit first, hey? She said, hanging it out. Let's chill. Let's chill. Take a chill pill. Right. So we get our pen. I'm going to use, you can use the number 1 or the 005, whichever you prefer. Let me just check. You check as well what one you want. Which one are you going to use? I'm just going to check. Let me see. Get a good one. Yeah, that's quite good. Right, I'm going to use the number 1. Okay. And because my hands have gone all clammy because I was making shapes. Stupid girl. It's the little things that give us pleasure. Right, ready? So what we're going to do now is we're going to this is what we're going to do. Let me just show you on this camera. Right, on the top of each of these petals. Are you comfortable with this? Are you ready to rock and roll? So what we're going to do is hook over the top and then come down. When you get to a join, if you need to stop at a join, don't stop halfway down. And then just keep travelling down your pencil line like that. And my suggestion would be that you go do all the ones in that direction and then go back and do the other ones. Okay, it's just, so this now, what we're doing is we're hooking over the top, we're coming down. When we get to a circle like that, we're going to stop, aren't we? Stop there, don't go through the bead. Then come back and go like that. Then we'll turn the paper again. I bet you all have a go at that pencil on the finger. You can't not want to do that, hey? You can't watch that and not want to have a go. Right, so let's get in the zone here after that silliness. Right, here we go. Relax. Whoa, we're right in the zone straight away. So this is a little bit like when we're colouring in, isn't it, with the colouring postcards, because you've got the artwork in front of you. We don't have to go through the doodleology process to get the line art to begin with. That's quite cool. Round we go. How are you today? Week 7. It's all right. It's all about acceptance and optimism, isn't it? Keep our routine going. I really enjoyed this morning getting up and letting go, letting my hair down. I mean, it's almost symbolic of letting go a little bit, isn't it? It's like, yeah, put some pink lipstick on and dress up a bit, you know? Why not? Why not? I'm not saying, you know, play fancy dress. I'm not saying that. I'm saying make the effort. Like if we're in New Mexico, then pretend we're in New Mexico. Like this is what I would wear. In New Mexico, it gets very, very hot. It's a desert, like seriously hot. And so in the sun, it's scorching. You always know who the locals are because they're covered up. They always wear long sleeves, very seldom, and they wear hats, hence the cowboy hats, I suppose. They often wear hats. The ladies I'm talking about as well. And so like what I'm wearing here, even though it's a short sleeve top, I would put a, see if you look at my top, right, I'd have this, this is one layer, isn't it? And then underneath, I've got a t-shirt, but I would put the t-shirt on to protect my arms because the sun is seriously hot. And you can always tell the tourists because they've always got their bodies exposed, and the locals are always covered right up, and they're usually as brown as berries, even despite being covered up. So yeah, you know, why not pretend we're there? Right, I've gone round one way. You ready to go round the other way? How is everybody? How are you doodling? I'm going around the other way now. See, it's a lot easier once you pen it, isn't it? I noticed a few of you were saying yesterday that there was so much pencil. That's where I nearly lost it. See, went on the first run. That's where I got confused. And I wondered, I was thinking about it last night, because I do, and I thought, it might be, try this, that you do the pencils in one direction first, right? Put your beads in, and then do this bit on the one side. because then I reckon it would be so you could do didn't you find going round the first way, it was easy. It was when you went round the other way, it all went haywire because you were running against all this different pencil work. So here's a suggestion. If you were going to have another go, you could get that download that Stuart will tell you where the link is. And then you could go round with the pencil, first time round, right? I'm sure I got one somewhere here. I probably just used it to draw all over, didn't I? Yeah, look, see? So you could go round and do these ones just on this side. So round you go to wherever, right? Round you go to wherever. Then you could put your beads in sporadically, you know, random. Then you could pen those ones like that. Do all these ones completion to completion, penned, but with the beads, and then take your pencil and then go back round the other way. And I have a feeling that would be a lot less confusing. It occurred to me last night that would be, because now I think it'd be a lot easier. Famous last words. Now when we come round this way, we're coming underneath the hooky bit. I'm being pedantic, but this is all about the focus. It's all about the detail. So here, in a minute, this is going to come through here, isn't it? So we'll start it there. Do you see? We're going to start, the petal goes up there. Pretend it's a twine. It's come up over the top of the willow branch. It's going down the other side, and then it's coming round here, like so, and then it's joining up. So it starts there, not here. It starts underneath the willow branch. See? So you come round like that. There. Cool. If you've got beads in the way, then you know what to do when you get to the bead. Slow down. How is everything? Is my volume all right? Is my peg holding out? Maybe somebody could just text me and let me know. Stuart, just give us a little thumbs up so I know that everything's okay. Because I'm sort of oblivious here. I could be waffling away happily to myself. And the sound could be gone. Everything could be gone. Now, what happened here? This one went a little bit wild, didn't it? So now I can reconstruct that one. Did I do that right? Yeah. Let's keep my eye in here. I'm going to come round that one. A little bit wobbly, but oh, whatever. It's only a doodle. Doesn't matter, does it? It's just about the ideas. Tricks and tips and all that. Tricks and tips. There you go. So you turn it round. I find it a lot easier to turn the artwork. Everybody okay with this? See, I think it'd be a really good idea if you fancied doing it. You could download the concentric circle. I mean, you might be a natural with the pencil and the finger trick, but you could also download the Lucy's thing. So you got loads of these, and then you could just try all sorts of different patterns, couldn't you? Different weaves. I mean, we were talking about the Dreamcatcher yesterday and the symbolism. You know, that this is a web, and the web, the idea is that the web catches the bad dreams. So you put the Dreamcatcher somewhere near your bed, above your bed, for example. I always used to put mine in the window, but there you are. And then what happens is the good dreams go through the centre, and the bad dreams get caught on the web. And then in the morning, I think that's why I put mine in the window, very literal me, when the sun comes up, the sun burns off the bad dreams that are hung, like clinging onto the web. So what you're doodling here, in effect, is just a bad dream catcher, if you like, because the good dreams go through. Isn't that cool? Right, let's have a look from above. Nice. Nice. Do you like? Okay, so we've done that. Now what we've got to do is put in you can see that we're not going to get to the feathers, can't you? We are going to get to the feathers. We're going to get to the feathers. But first of all, project completion. The next thing we need to do, there's a couple of things we want to do. Now we've got to put the tube in. This is usually made of wood, like willow, or in proper Native American dream catchers. So let's have a look. So now what we're going to do is we're going to introduce the wood underneath the weave. It's like stamping, isn't it? We've got to do whatever's on top, we've got to do first, and then we can tuck in. So this would be nice. Let's do this now. Okay. So what do you think about my idea about relaxing? Because this is such an intense time, right? Really, isn't it? Mentally intense, right? It certainly is in my world, and I'm sure it is in yours. And I just found today, when I got up and I decided to wear, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, if we go to Florida, I'm not going to be sitting there in a sarong, you know, or a bikini. Never going to happen. But I mean, New Mexico, it lends itself so perfectly to that kind of bohemian, Mother Earth. I'm so glad that it's been a part of my life for a long time now, you know. The people there have a very different outlook on life, a different pace of life. You go in a restaurant or you know, they're not posh. I mean, obviously you go into Albuquerque or Santa Fe, you know, it's like going down, you know, in any posh city. It's like being in San Francisco, in New York. You get all your chains, you know. But if you go off the beaten track and you go into, you know, like in the town where our house is, it's called Mountain Air. I mean, that speaks volumes, doesn't it? Mountain Air, right? Because the railroad went through there, and they decided when they got there, they decided that it was like mountain air, and so it was called Mountain Air. It's beautiful, right? And sunflowers abound in Mountain Air, right? And so when you get there, there's a place. It's called Ancient Cities, and it's just it's like a hole in the wall, really. It's a little cafe, and people gather there. And on Sunday, in Mountain Air, you get this, right? And now, this isn't the Bible Belt. People it's not, don't get me wrong, they're very spiritual. There are 13 churches in Mountain Air, 13 churches, and one bar, and that got shut down because he wouldn't pay his taxes. I know, amazing. And so, like on church, everybody goes to their different churches. It's a big celebration thing. And right, we go on the inside now. And after church, regardless of which church you've gone to for your Sunday celebration, you go to Ancient Cities, this old hole in the wall, and they put on a buffet. It's as cheap as chips. I mean, obviously, it must be awful now because they can't do that. And you'll get families sitting around the table, and they all hold hands, and they say grace. You know, I mean, it's a really... I don't remember ever being in a restaurant in England and the families making a circle and saying grace before a meal. You know, and it's each to his own, of course. But it does tell you a lot, doesn't it? And a lot of Spanish, a lot of Mexican people, and very... oh, it's beautiful. When you see the way they... with their children, it's just wonderful. It's like Italians with their kids, you know. It's just beautiful. I like that. It gives me joy. And I'm really lucky that I've had that experience, you know, in my lifetime. Because I mean, when you're brought up in Hammersmith and then the Medway towns, you don't expect any time in your lifetime to end up in Albuquerque or New Mexico or have a house in in mountain air. You know, how lucky am I? You know, how lucky. And so if we can just have a virtual little journey there this week while we're learning how to draw a Dreamcatcher. First of all, I like that I can tell you what it's all about. You know, the chances are on this Dreamcatcher, these beads, if they were from New Mexico, if this Dreamcatcher was a New Mexico Dreamcatcher, it would be turquoise beads. These would be bright turquoise. Everywhere you go in New Mexico. Right, hang on a minute. You want to catch me up? Sorry, I'm waffling, but I hope you think it's interesting anyway. Right, turquoise, look, turquoise everywhere. This is a cool bracelet. I bought this one last time. I bought this in a place called Madrid, which is just outside Santa Fe. Look, it's like, oh, isn't that clever? It's just loads of little tiny, I think that's lovely. It's on a kind of a coily wire. Isn't it nice? I'll show you. It wasn't expensive. The one around my neck was. This one wasn't. Look, see? And then when you put it on, it kind of wraps like a snake. Oh, don't get me started on the snakes. Yeah, there are those. We do get you. Cool. Let me tell you another story. I'll tell you that one in a minute. Yeah, we're there all week. I don't want to frighten you. But look, you see? Isn't that pretty? And you can loosen it up. You can, if it's a bit tight. Nice. And the reason that people in New Mexico wear so much turquoise, and they don't only wear it, it's everywhere. If you go to the houses, the lintel above the doors, above the windows, is usually painted turquoise. There'll be adobe, like mud brick, right? Houses, they're brown, like beautiful brown. But the lintels and the frames of the windows are often turquoise because it wards off evil spirits. It's a protection. Turquoise it protects. It shields, and so that's why so many Native American Indians and New Mexicans, they wear turquoise because it's a shield, and they put it around their windows in their houses because it protects. It's a good omen. It's a positive, really lovely. Apart from looking beautiful, and we love the colour. Yeah, so there you go, little things. Right, so come on, how are we doing? Hello, Ros, I can just see you there. Right, so what we're going to do now is bring this one in, the little tube, the little one round the inside. We've got to add that one, haven't we? Right? Everybody okay with this? Right, so I'll go to that camera so I can lean on. You see, this way I can lean on my hand and I can come in. So we're going to avoid, aren't we? We're going to avoid these bits like that. So you just go around. I'll do both at the same time. Round you go. See, it's, yeah, this is going to be fine. So you just go around like that. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to go around the inside first. Go around the inside first. Don't go fast because you'll spoil it, Gray. Here we are. That's nice. It's nice. There you go. And then we'll go again. Go around this way. Right, I've got to keep the distance. I seem to be ignoring my pencil line now. It's all right though. Just keep your eye on where you're going so that it's sort of... But if this was a piece of wood, it wouldn't be perfect, would it? And it is a doodle, guys. That'll do. Fabulous. I love it. I love it. A little bit wonky. But do you know what? It's a Dreamcatcher. So when we look at the two together, we've got it, haven't we? We've nailed it. So now we've done that, let's attempt it's only past, come on. Get your rubber out, your pencil, your eraser, and just gently erase all the pencil marks through here. Just gently erase them all. There you go. How are we doodling? All right. Yeah, there you go. So then you see when you go to do the shading, this is lovely, isn't it? I think it's good. And I think I'm all for taking our time and enjoying it, you know, rather than, you know, I'll say it again. I've said it once, said it 100 times. There are no experts in this building. Nobody's judging your work. It's not a competition. We're not comparing what we do with what our neighbours are doing. It's a celebration. This is certainly a celebration of New Mexico and Native American Indians. There you go. I feel real chilled today. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I've let my hair down and I thought, yeah, let's just go for it. Just relax. Because we would be in New Mexico probably around now. This would be the time that we go. It's all right. I've got a couple of good friends who can look after the house for me. It's all good. So do you know what? It's not good. It's rubbish. Why am I saying it's good? It is what it is. So we just have to accept it the way it is and work with what we've got. And what we got at the moment, right, is a whole load of us all hanging out together every day at 10 o'clock doodling. And today we're doodling a Dreamcatcher. And we're clearing our minds and we're hanging out together and we're having fun. Well, we're doing something constructive and creative and we're getting with our hands and we're getting out of our heads and we're arresting those negative thoughts and all that uncertainty. Park it. Serves no purpose. Serves no purpose worrying about all that jazz, does it? And you know what? It's like with my finger. You break a nail. You know what? Learn how to make circles. You get given lemons, you learn how to make lemonade. We didn't have any bread and we don't go into shops. Dave learned how to make naan breads. They're lovely. Right, so all we're doing now, it was like, all right, forget that pap that you buy in the supermarket. We're making flatbreads and naan breads from now on. And they're delicious, you know? So it's funny how out of necessity is the mother of invention, right? Interesting, very interesting, isn't it? So let's have a look at this and we'll see where we're going next. Right, how are you doing? Have you got this? Have you got your wheel? Have you got that? Have you got your beads in place? See, I started putting shadow in them and then I thought, no, I'm not going to do that. So I got rid of the shadow on that one because I thought I want to colour that in. I think that is going to be my flash of colour. Is going to be bright turquoise beads. And if I'd used my loaf of bread, my head, before I did this, I probably wouldn't have coloured them in either. But there you go. I didn't have time to do it again. I'm just saying. So now we've got this. We can do... What should we do? Should we do the shading? Because if we do the shading, we can do the shading, or we could have a go at trying some feathers. Do you want to have a go at a feather? Come on, let's try one feather. We'll try one. Right, we'll try the one down the... You up for it? Well, first of all, we're going to hang it about here, aren't we? So that's going to be the top of the feather, let's say. Let me just put your pencil down for a minute and let me show you. And then you decide where you want to... So I'm going to put 3. See, I've got that petal there, so I'm going to hang it off here. And I'm going to put another one off there and another one off there. I've decided. You might want to put one there and one there. You might want to put loads around here. You might want to have a whole herd of feathers. I'm going to put a couple of beads down first. So the beads are going to go through here. So there you go. I've got, say, 4 beads. Right? Just so that I've got a little bit of orientation. And then I've got to decide if my feather, say it's only going to come down to here. I can put my finger there to stop myself going any further, right? You could do this on a bit of scrap, couldn't you, first, if you wanted to? But I'll just show you. See, the idea is when you look at the feathers, you've got to decide on the direction. Which way do you want them to flutter? Do you want it to flutter to the left? Do you want it to flutter to the right? Do you want it to curl up? Do you want it to curl? Do you want a little curl? You want a long curl? What do you want? Right? But first of all, we've got to decide which direction it's going. So if, for example, I look at this, I'm gonna put my spine in. You see, it's the spine that dictates. The bit down the middle, this bit of the feather, is what tells me where I'm going. So, for example, I'm going to come in with my spine, and I'm going to put my spine in like that. And that will tell me exactly where my feather's going to go, right? Because the feather's like a leaf, really. So let me just show you. Now I'm going to put in my general shape. I could put loads of different, there are so many different shapes. Let's get a bit of, you can decide, you can go, what bird was it for a start? So say that's my spine. Let's say let me put my spine back in, right? Just put my spine back in like that. Now, I can make a feather, it's like a leaf. Don't worry about the outside because we'll change it. But say your leaf's going to be, it could be like that. So your feather could be like that sort. You see? Couldn't it? It could be one of them. Let me show you. Like that. So it could be that sort of feather. Or you could take your spine, do another one. This could be a shorter one. Maybe it wasn't such a big bird, right? It could be a much fatter feather, couldn't it? Like that. You see? It depends entirely on your... And then what you do is, you see, you break it up. So feather leaves, the way I figured it out, was they sort of break up, don't they? They're smooth, but if you split them up, because there's thousands of tiny little pieces, aren't they? Like little tiny lengths, and you can break them up like tiny little bits. There'll be loads and loads and loads of them, but we'll break them up just into larger areas rather than all independent. So you've got your real downy area, and then you've got your big area. So I want to show you, for example, here, what I do is then decide, let's take that out for a minute, right? And I'll decide if this is my feather, right? Say, let's call it a bit of down up here, just a little sketch. You see this all right? Right, and then, but the feather's going to go, I find, they tend to go, instead of that way, like a leaf, they're going to go this way. So you'll come down, and then but you've got the angle going this way. Do you remember on the silver birch, we decided it was all about which way does look, you can make it. You can do whatever you like when it comes to how you split it up. See, so there's your feather really. And you can either come into a point, which is probably normal, isn't it? Normally it would come into a point like this, because if you cut it out at a square, let me show you something. If you do that, then what you're basically, it looks more like a cheese plant, because what you're saying is that somebody's cut all these little fibres away. So it's more natural to come into some sort of point, isn't it? See? So this one here, it might be blocky there, but it comes into a triangle. Do you see what I'm getting at? Comes into a point. So have a little play at the moment and have a think about where you want your, where you want your feathers to split, like that. And you can choose where you want. You might be a few little ones, see that's wrong. There you go, like that. So that's my feather. That's all I've done there, look. That's all it is. You get your spine in. It's not that hard. Once you decide which way, what's more difficult is getting a curl on, like a curl like that, right? So for example, if I want to get that curl on there, say I want to put a curl on this one. So what that means, then the idea is that the end of the feather is actually, what we want to do is we want to bring it up, don't we? So the spine goes like that. So if the spine goes like that, then we've got to turn the feather around to do that as well. So that involves taking out a little bit here, right? Just let me show you this. I mean, I might not get it right straight away, but I'll give you a, see, it's all about that area there. So let's say now, for example, that this so the feather comes down there, right? And it comes round. So this bit here now is coming up there because it's coming in front, you see. So this line here, can you see this all right? Right? It's coming up like that in front. And then this spine here is coming underneath actually here. So that bit is coming underneath here, right? But we still need a little bit of this area. So let me just show you. So you can see what I'm getting at. You've got, let's get that one first, right? So you bring that round like so. So that's got that depth there. And then the feather comes in and it grabs, see this here? It takes that bit there. So now what you've got is you've got this one coming down like that. That's that area. And then the spine has taken over round the back. So if you look at this one that's already been penned, you'll see this one's come round and it's curled over and it's still got a little bit there. I'll show you up close so you see where I'm coming from. And then we come, because it's the curl. Once you master the curl on the feather, you'll be real chuffed. See? It's really easy once you master it. So let's take this one again. Right? If you like, we can take off right to there. Take the whole lot off to there. Okay? Because we were down there like that, weren't we? And now we've decided we want to curl it. So if we curl it, this area here is coming round. Right, so we'll get rid of that. So that one's coming round like that. Right, now as it comes round though, it twists. And as it twists, we see the bottom of that side of the feather as well. So it's coming round like that and it's twisting, okay? And so then the spine is also going to be there. See, so now what you've got, see if you can see it on here. If you turn it round, you'll see it even more so. So this is curling round there like that, right? And then, but you're seeing the bottom of the feather now. But the spine, then, it comes through there. You miss this bit, and then you come back round and you join up to the tip. Now what you've got is, if you were to shade it, like, let's do this, right? Then what you've got is, this is the bottom, isn't it? So that would be shaded, if you like, because that's underneath, isn't it? Right? This would be shaded, because it's inside, if you get what I'm saying. If you can see what I'm getting at, then you'll see the optical illusion. See, what you're doing is, you're turning it. Let's see if you can see it when I've shaded it. Do you get it? So it comes round here, stop the spine there, bring this side round to curl over, bring that side round because you're going to bring it up the underneath, but then the spine comes back again and it comes up the side. And that's how it looks to me. It works for me, right? So if that's are we back on this one? Let's have a look. So how are you fixed? You want to have a go on this one? What's the time? 1:45. We could try this, couldn't we? Let's have a go. So we've got the spine in place. And we're going to do a couple of little V's like that. Let me see if this is a better camera for you. Or I've got a better idea. Stay there. I'm going to go on my little perch and go in really tight so that we can work from above, because I think that might be a really good idea. How about that? Because that's all the area that we're worried about. I can hold it so that you can see it. Is that all right? That's better, isn't it? Right, because all we're worried about is this now. Okay, can you see that okay? So this is my feather. And I'm just going to put the general shape in of my feather, what I want. So I'm going to go with one of these ones, like that. It's going to be like that. And then I'm going to, yeah. And then what I want to do is I want to put a little twist on it. Let's just exaggerate the twist on this one so that we can learn that here, yeah? And this took me a little while to work out. I'm not a feather specialist. Look at the length of my wabber. Look, that should tell you how much of a specialist I am. What's important is that you don't take yourself so seriously. There is nothing that a little time and a little figuring out won't sort out. So now they're going to come round there. So if that's that bit, this is going to come round here. This is the tip. So round it comes like that. Might look a bit ropey until I've finished it. Right, and then this is going to be the spine. Then it comes in there and it comes back out there. So it's only a little, I might have to exaggerate this a bit. If that's like that, and that's going to come round like that. That'd be nice. You can see it better when it's penned, but you don't want to pen it until you're absolutely certain that it's right. See, I think I need a little bit more. This isn't enough of a, I've got to curl it more, right? So when this comes round here, this is going to have more of the base showing like that. Right, so right, I'm going for it now. This is a serious curl, this one. Right, okay. Just practice until it looks right. If it doesn't look right, you're not going to pen it, you see. So if that's my curl coming round there, let's get this bit right before I get carried away. So I'm coming round like that. And then, let me have a look. And then this one's going to come through underneath. So if that's coming through underneath, then I need to make that a little bit thinner there. See, it doesn't happen automatically, does it? That's like that, and then that comes round like that. There you go. And then you know when you've got it, you know when it works. It just, suddenly, it just clicks. So that's like that. That comes round like that. And then this one's coming in over the back like that. And then that's coming in like so. So that's my, yeah. And then I think I might thin that bit out a little bit there, because that looks a bit ropey. So you don't want to press too hard. I'm only pressing hard so you can see it. Right, and then you see, if I wanted to, I could add a bit more of the feature. You know, in here, this bit, you can make your little divots, because that'll make it look more authentic, see? As you're coming round, and now we can come in here, and we're just going to add these. See, because you've got your shape. So you come down. This is where the feathers have been split open. So you could do a couple like that. You can do some. This is going to look lovely. See, this is what adds the authenticity to it. So when it goes like that, and then when it comes round here, then I'm going to stop doing that. Is that okay? Then up here, we'll have a couple of these. We'll do a couple of these ones, because when you actually look at a feather, there is a lot of that going on, isn't there? See? And then I'll come down, especially up the top. There's more of that going on up the top, I think. Like more downy bits, isn't it? White, wispy. I came down. Don't want to make it symmetrical because that would look daft. And you just come in like that. Down we go. Couple more of these. Cool. See? And then this one, actually, do you know what this one might, I reckon, because it does look a bit really fat and then it's gone to like really thin as it's curled round. So I might have to work on my curl a little bit there. Now it's starting to look better. It had to come in a bit thinner because it suddenly went from a real fat to nada, right? So that's better. So that comes in there. Then this curls over. And if I wanted to, I could curl that, because nothing's written in stone yet. It's still only pencil. I could bring this one round a bit more, couldn't I? Do you know, that might look even better. See, I could curl that right round now. See if I take this bit out. See if you see it better. There, see? So then that comes round like that. This one comes in. And there's my spine there. Yeah. And now I can still add my little flourishes round here because the feather's still got those bits in, hasn't it? See? Yeah. Bingo. See? So then the top piece comes in like so. Have you managed that? 10 to 11. And we've got one feather in the back of the net. There you go. And then the beads, you see, just hang them down like so. You can add as many beads as you like. Right, so I've given you the theory. There you go, like that. You can understand why I'm saying it needs to be a point here, can't you? So you've got the chunky bits, and then you've got your spine. Okay, nice. Love it. Got there. And then with the spine, see, I'm not 100% on this, but I will get there. In a minute, it just pops and you go, yeah, that's the one. But the theory's there anyway. Basically, you come down and you see the spine comes down here, jumps over the front bit here and carries on. It comes down here, jumps over the front bit and carries on. Don't get too caught up in it, because it's when you add the shadow, when we start adding the shadow to this area here and this area here, is when you see how it looks three-dimensional. Look, as soon as I do this, when you pen it and you shade it, that's when it goes ping. It's cool, isn't it? We're getting good at this, guys. We're getting good at this. There you go. So that's going to be your homework, is to practice your feathers. Get a bit of paper and do exactly as I said. Cool, mine's a big feather. That's all right. It was just trying to show you, all right? That doesn't matter, does it? It's bigger than that one, but everyone's an original. Look, okay. And you don't have to make a great big curl. Look, my first one, ginger, just a little flick. That looks nice too, doesn't it? And you can flick it the other way. You flick it in on itself. Feathers are beautiful. So this is just a stylized one, isn't it? But there you go. So just for the last 5 minutes, right, what I'd love to do is tomorrow, can we do this? Can we do this, right? Can we do this? Because I'm still up to here with work, getting ready for all the TV shows, okay? So what I'd really love you to do is tomorrow, like practice your feathers and put your 3 pencil feathers in, yeah? Put your 3 pencil feathers in. And what do you think? Do you want to practice them, or do we want, let's have a think for a minute. We definitely need to put some shading in, don't we? So how about this? Please do me a favour, right? Before tomorrow, you've done 1 feather now in pencil. Do the other 2 feathers as well, if you get a chance, right? But just put them in pencil. And then tomorrow, we'll ink them up. We'll add the ink to them. I think that's a good idea. Because then that way you sleep on it as well, which is always a good idea. And then what we could do tomorrow, we'll add the ink to the feathers and some dots, and make them very pretty. We'll do that together. And then we'll also add the shade to the actual Dreamcatcher, and we'll add a little bit more depth, because when you look at the Dreamcatcher, you see how there's a little bit more line going on here. It just adds, it's like it just adds more depth to it, doesn't it? So tomorrow what we'll do is we'll add the shadow here, right? If you want to hang out, if you want to do it with me at the same time, then this is what we're going to do tomorrow, is add the dimension all the way around and in here as well. So we're going to do that tomorrow. We're going to add colour to the beads. We're going to pen these, and we're going to add something that I haven't done on these yet. Just lovely, lovely pattern work. And then we'll sort out our beads. Don't colour them in like I did though. Just do them in pencil for now, right? And then you've got choices then. Because once I've done that, I haven't got a choice anymore. They're black, and that's that. So let's do that tomorrow, can we? I think it will be lovely to just complete it tomorrow and add a little flash of colour, and then on Thursday, then we can go to another part of New Mexico on the other side of the page, and I've got some really lovely ideas for the background and for the frame. Do you know what? It may be that we stay in New Mexico a little bit longer. I love it there. I really do. I could live there like that. And maybe I will one day. I just got to talk Dave round. But at the moment, here we are, and we're just soaking up the spiritual vibe of New Mexico, and we're doodling together. So let's keep it simple. And you've got between now and tomorrow morning to do your finger circles, to practice your feathers, get 3 hanging down off the Dreamcatcher, and then tomorrow we will complete that project. If you're good with that, I'm good with that. So it's been an absolute pleasure having your company. I hope you enjoyed it today. I'm in my element with the Dreamcatcher. And I'm going to do some prep today. And this is I did actually post it yesterday in my blog. I don't know if you're aware that we decided, because so many people, especially Paul, he kept saying, every time I do a doodle, he said, that make a lovely stamp, you know, that make a lovely stamp, you know, that make a lovely stamp, you know. And so we did. We turned them into stamps, Lucy and I. And we're launching a couple of them on Hochanda on Saturday at 1 o'clock. And so if you go to the blog, you'll see. I just want to show you, because I really like them, and it shows you how far we've come. Who remembers that little doodle? Who remembers that little doodle? Do you remember? Isn't that lovely? All things grow with love. I'll go with that. But this time, look, we've made a stamp out of it. Aren't we lucky that we can? Oh, I know. Look. Bingo. So that, my friends, is what I've got to prepare now. And I do it with pleasure, and I do it with love. So it's all good. Like, follow and share. Get going with your feathers. And it is a challenge. Of course it is. It's a challenge. It's not a competition. It's just stretching us a little bit. Wouldn't it be brilliant if you could draw feathers? You know, well, why not? Let's give it a go. If I can, you can. And that is the truth. If I can, you can. So have fun. I'll see you tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. Thanks very much, Stuart, for joining us. And tomorrow, dress up. Pretend we're in New Mexico. Go on, make the effort. See if you can find something turquoise to add to your, whether it's a brooch or a jewellery or a scarf or something. Just get in the mood. Get in the mood. Why not? We can't be there, but let's be there up here. Hey? It's fun. It make you feel good. It will. Let your hair down. I have. And I'll see you tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. Lots of love. Bye-bye now.